arrangements with Parliament, and also have gone to where his body is in the PAL so that they can make the necessary arrangements for his body to be taken to Mpumalanga. Our sincere condolences again to the Khoza family. Our statement is titled, "We cannot vote in favor of a motion to collapse government." Very simple. We didn't want to be sophisticated. We are not sophisticated. We felt it is important to clarify why the ANC will be voting against the DA-sponsored motion to remove the President of the Republic of South Africa. This coming motion has generated much debate and public interest. Hence, we saw it desirable to upfront clarify our stance on this motion and respond to pronouncements that have been made by the opposition on this particular matter. Some would say that, but you have clarified your stance. Yes, we have, but we did not hold and call for a press conference where we delved into this matter. We did not. We only responded to questions that you would have put to us on the vote of no confidence. First and foremost, we want to acknowledge the difficulties and grievances that have been raised by our people, including our partners in the tripartite alliance, about the state of affairs in some government quarters. Indeed, amongst these that we are not blind to, which are deep-seated grievances that have been raised, relate to the reshuffle of cabinet that matters were raised on. In fact, it's the recent cabinet reshuffle, by the way, that has given rise to this motion that we are going to be attending to this coming Tuesday. The other issue that is in the public domain, and we are not blind to, is the country's downgrading to junk investment status. We are alive to these issues that affect many of our people, particularly the poorest of the poor. Indeed, the leaked emails regarding the notorious Gupta family's influence on government and state capture have been raised as serious and legitimate concerns. Then the unburdening report by the South African Council of Churches that the country has sight of, the No Room to Hide dossier by the Organization Undoing Tax Abuse, OUTA, the betrayal of the promise report by the State Capacity Research Project. As you will know, these are academics. And all these are centered around the public protector's state captures report. And all these reports and documents have rightly caused anxiety and displeasure in society. We acknowledge this. As the ANC, we share this discomfort and anger at these revelations, which are continuously unfolding in the public domain. The ANC caucus shares the same aspirations of the people of South Africa. Concerned South Africans must know that they have an ally in the ANC caucus. And indeed, they don't have an enemy. As the ANC, we intervened on the crisis affecting the South African Broadcasting Corporation, SABC, as you will know. It's common cause, resulting in the removal of the board and the appointment of an interim board. The interim board, as you will know, is working so well to ensure that stability and good governance is restored at the public broadcaster. We equally intervened, as you will also know, in ESCOM, resulting in the rescinding of the reappointment of the former Group Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Brian Molefe, after he had resigned following his involvement in allegations of state capture. Parliament is currently, as you will know, conducting an inquiry, or will soon commence. Steps are at an advanced stage into ESCOM, of which we are confident that the inquiry will result in those found of any wrongdoing being taken to task. Other portfolio committees, where allegations of wrongdoing have surfaced, have also been directed to leave no stone unturned in uncovering those responsible and proposing corrective measures, inclusive of recovering monies siphoned fraudulently from our state institutions, and indeed also referring some of those responsible to our criminal justice system for criminal proceedings. The ANC also raised its discomfort, as you will know, regarding the removal and replacement of former Finance Minister Nhlanhla Nene, which caused serious financial turbulence. The intervention of the ANC led to the appointment of the now former Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan. Though the recent cabinet reshuffle resulted in the removal of Gordhan, his replacement was a subject of intervention by the ANC after various media speculations, we don't know how wrong or right they were, that Mr. Brian Molefe, who is a subject of the public protester state of capture report, will be appointed a replacement. We are raising all these issues to indicate that indeed that the ANC has been responsive to these matters that are causing untold anxiety in the public domain. But we need to do more. Therefore, we fully agree that all matters of public concern and cause of distress to the South African society must be attended to as a matter of urgency. We are in agreement. Further investigations by all arms of state, including the judiciary, must be conducted to unearth how we got to where we are and who is responsible for us being where we are. This will be in keeping with the remedial action of the public protector in her report, The State of Capture. Those found guilty of wrongdoing must face consequences including prosecution. Therefore, the immediate appointment of a Judicial Commission of Inquiry is of extreme urgency. We must never allow our current irritations to blind us to act in a manner that destroys everything we have built over the 23 years as a young democracy. Voting in favor of this motion will be tantamount to throwing a nuclear bomb at our country. The removal of the president will have disastrous consequences that can only have a negative impact on the people of South Africa. It will result in the entire cabinet having to resign, which will lead to a collapse in government with long-lasting ramifications. It will plunge our country into complete political instability and economic uncertainty. I don't need to be an economist. I don't need to be these people who have ranked us to junk status to know that removal of a person, of a president, will create so much political instability and uncertainty, particularly when the party that the president belongs to has said this should not be done. Because you'll be doing so, thrusting us into an uncertain future that the party that the president comes from would not have prepared for. This will inadvertently negatively affect the poor and the working class the most, as they are dependent on government for their livelihoods. If we are saying we are now at a level of junk status, just imagine what will be the impact of this move in the economic environment. Our view is that it will just be negative. If we are in a technical recession, I can assure you this will be the best way of putting us in a recession. Instead of solving our problems, we will be doing more harm to our country and to our people. This will also set precedents where opposition parties can use parliament, provincial legislatures, and municipal councils and metros to remove a democratically elected government outside of general elections. And I don't believe that that's what South Africa wants, and that's what the majority of South Africans want. Therefore, the removal of the president in parliament is simply not in the best interest of our country. There are those that have emailed us thousands and thousands of emails. Many members of the ANC received thousands and thousands of emails, and they said we must act in the interest of the country. We are doing exactly that. Because doing anything different will be acting not in the interest of the country. By the way, we must not seek easy and short-sighted solutions to difficult political problems. This motion, as you will know, those who are in the political field, is a political ploy by our political nemesis with the sole intention of maximizing their own political gains at the expense of the country. That's what they want to do. The DA wants to be political messiahs. And of course maximize in their electoral gains, but do so at the expense of bringing the country to collapse. That's what they want to do. ANC members of parliament are an advanced cadreship of the ANC. We want to assure you of that. We did not land here by accident. We landed in these shores in hallowed walls of parliament because our membership and the 11 million people who voted for the ANC believe, and the leadership of the ANC believe, that we have the necessary acumen to create a better life for our people through holding the executive accountable. Otherwise, we'll not be here. That's why we are saying we are an advanced cadreship of the ANC. We will not, with our eyes open, cause the weakening of the state in favor of the opposition. When you weaken the state, when you weaken yourself as an organization, indeed, the people who will be beneficiaries of your weakness in a political system in South Africa will be your adversaries. And those adversaries are the people that have proposed this motion. These are the adversaries, the Democratic Alliance. As activists, we will not be part of actions that will bring our country to a brink of collapse. Our decision to vote against this motion must therefore not be seen as defending or protecting any individual. We didn't get into the struggle to protect any individuals. We got into the struggle to serve our people and our country. To this end, we are prepared to protect and defend our country from any misguided actions. We are protecting our country and our hard-won democracy. The claim that seeks to say that not voting with the opposition in this instance will be injudicious, very big English, is very much misguided. In fact, it would be injudicious for ANC MPs to vote with the opposition in collapsing our country. The opposite is true, in fact. Our actions must not be informed by incumbent personalities, but rather what is in the best interest of our country today. We are also protecting our electoral system through these actions, through this vote, by the way, which places the political authority to deploy members of parliament in the respective political parties who contested elections. That's what our political system does. It is a party-based political system. That's all members of parliament from all political parties take their mandate from their political parties. ANC MPs should not be expected to be different from this legal and well-established political norm since 1994. We are not different. In delivering the Constitutional Court judgment on whether the upcoming motion should be by secret ballot or not, Chief Justice Mukweng said, I quote, "The appropriateness of a voting procedure for that motion is particularly important since our electoral system is structured in such a way that it is, broadly speaking, a party, but not a member of parliament that gets voted into parliament." That's the good judge saying. A political party virtually determines who goes to parliament and who is no longer allowed to represent it in parliament. I close quote. If you want to read further, you can. But this is amongst other things that the judge said. The Chief Justice further went on to quote the certificate case where paragraph 77 states, I open quotes, "Under a list system of proportional representation, it is parties that the electorate vote for, and parties which must be accountable to the electorate." I close quote. South Africa's electoral system is not a presidential system, where a president is voted for as an individual, but our system is rather where the party that wins elections deploy its presidential candidate. In the same way, the party will also deploy its members as MPs as well as members of cabinet. It is therefore unthinkable that members who are deployed by a party as its members of parliament would usurp the authority of the party that deployed them and remove another member deployed as a president at the behest of our political adversaries. During one of our debates in the House, I said, only a bewitched party will do so. I'm repeating that. You will have to bewitch us first. It is very hypocritical of the opposition to want ANC members of parliament to defy their party mandate when they do not allow such in their own parties. The DA, and this is public knowledge, suspended 6 councillors in the Cape Town Metro for defying the party mandate on who to vote for at a sub-council meeting in November last year. The DA makes their members of the provincial legislature in the Western Cape sign written allegiance to always follow the party mandate. They don't play. You sign written allegiance that you will follow the party mandate then. The EFF is instituting disciplinary action against its councillors who defied their party mandate in voting for the passing of the budget in Mogale City, while the DA in the same Mogale City forced their councillors to take lie detector test to unearth a councillor who voted in favor of the removal of a DA mayor. Now, these are things that you know. We are not speaking lies here. The rumor that there are ANC members in our caucus who will vote in favor of this motion is nothing but wishful thinking on the part of the opposition. You know, I've seen and heard other party leaders who are saying there are about 60 members of the ANC who will be putting their vote in the positive bloc. We are saying there is no such. We will vote against this motion because it is a crude and populist attempt to unseat a popularly elected government by the opposition. This motion will be defeated irrespective of whether it is by open or secret ballot. ANC members of parliament can never be participants in the demise of their own government and their own organization. Siyabulela.